Okay, good evening, everybody. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ya te
Welcome,
todos te oyeron aquí que está llorando, mira.
welcome to the
Todos te
class.
oyeron ya.
How are you today?
Good teacher, and you?
Good. I'm great. Thank you for asking. Are
Hi,
you
hello,
ready?
teacher. Good night,
Hello.
all people.
Are you ready for today's class?
Yes, I'm ready. No entiendo por qué.
Okay, everybody, thank you for coming on time to our class. As you know, this is our last class in of this level. So I hope everybody, all of you are ready to participate and practice, okay? A second, there you go. Okay, everybody, today we have our last class in this level, so I hope all of you are ready and we can practice and take advantage of time, right? To start with our class, well, I would like to start with our first activity and it's question, okay? Very good. Okay, in this opportunity, guys, I would like to practice the following question. How can we improve our English skills? As you know, everybody, English is divided, or we could say that when we have evaluations, English is evaluated in 4 different areas: speaking, reading, writing, and listening. So I would like to know, what do you do to improve in those areas, or how do you practice in those areas, right? For example, you can give us some tips to improve in these areas. And well, the tips that you give are the practices you're doing, and maybe some of those practices can help your classmates, right, to improve and to speak English more fluently, I'm sorry. Okay, so I would like to start, everybody. And well, to start with this activity, maybe we can hear Luis Molina. Hello, Luis. How are you?
Hey, good evening, teacher. How are you? Good evening, everybody.
I'm great. Well, can you help us with this question, Luis? Tell me, how can we improve our English? What do you think? Or tell me, what do you do to improve?
In my case, I like it to write because my is what is opposed to the strength, my strength, opposite of the strength. What is the name, teacher? Could you please help me? La debilidad, right? My
Weakness.
my weakness in this language. In the most cases, when with interpretation, in any resume or when read something, for me is a difficult to understand the first time when I read it, right? Right.
Okay.
This is my strength, reason why I practice a read article, and after that I put my knowledge about if I understand very well that resume or article, right?
Okay, well, that's a good practice you do, writing. Okay, things to understand better what you are reading, or or the information you have in front of you. That's something nice that can help you a lot. So, Luis, what did you say is your strength?
Sorry?
What's your strength in English?
And the most case for me when to talk in English, for me is not difficult to talk in English. Or when someone talk it's not difficult to understand in the most case. But when someone is a native in English, yeah, in that case, it's a little difficult, right?
Oh yes. Well,
Uh-huh.
in our case that we are English learners, even I am an English learner because I am not a native speaker. So in that case, it's always difficult to understand at the beginning, right? Then when we practice and listen to foreign people, or in this case, native English speakers, it becomes easier to understand what they say and to have a more fluent conversation with them. Okay, but great job.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Luis, for sharing about this important tip that we can take into account to improve our English, right? Now I would like to hear, let's see, Abigail Fuentes. Abigail, can you help us and give us some tips? How can we improve our English? What do you think? What do you do?
I think is listening and reading and also speaking. And for me, I watch a series in English. I I like listen to music in English, and sometimes I read uh, another some tales in English.
Okay, very good. So those are great practices. Okay, those are great practices that you do, okay, to listen to music. Maybe these are the most common practices we can do when we start learning English, right? In the case we are starting learning English, it is great for us, everybody, to, well, listen to music, also watch movies or series in English. And in that way, we can learn more vocabulary, okay? And also we can improve our pronunciation. Since you listen to the pronunciation, then you can try and repeat that word, okay? That's great. Thank you, Abigail, for sharing with us some of the practices you do to improve to improve your English. Now maybe we can listen to Katia. Katia, hello, good evening. Tell me, how can we improve our English?
Good evening, teacher. Well, in my case, what I usually do is to listening to music because I'm still studying, so I don't have enough time to watch series in English. But I think it's pretty good. Or you can see like short videos, like TED Talks with subtitles, which is really helpful. What I sometimes rarely do when I watch video is to read the subtitles in English and listen the pronunciation. And I think it's helpful. With the music, I like rap, so I try to follow the lyrics to have a fluency with my English.
Okay,
And
continue.
yeah, in the case of reading, I like to read, but I don't have books in English. And in the case of writing, I need to improve more because grammar is kind of difficult for me, but I cannot do like something in a specific that could help me to improve that.
Okay, but actually the practices or the tips that you gave us are really important, right? For example, as you said, watching tech talks, it's a great practice that we can have. Since over there, we also listen to different kind of music that it's also important for us. And some words that maybe we don't know the meaning, but at the end, they help us a lot, right? They help us a lot to practice a little bit more. Also,
Yes.
another important thing that you mentioned is the kind of music we listen. In the case of rap, I know in English, it is, I could say that their pronunciation is not that good. but it's because of the fluency, because they have to speak a little bit faster, right?
Yes.
But it's another great thing you can do when you practice. Okay, so I really appreciate your opinion about this, Katya, and the tips you gave your classmates. Maybe we can hear right now Evelyn. Evelyn is here, so hello, Evelyn. Good evening. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Thanks, teacher. I have a little flu, so my voice is a little different today.
Okay, well, I'm really sorry, right? But thank you for coming. Well, tell me, how can we improve our English skills?
For me, I guess it's very important watching moving in English, but it's I learn more if we select the captions and I can see the how they the word that they are speaking. So I'm trying to listening and trying to have more comprehension watching what they are saying. Also, the music, and now my boy is also taking uh, his classes in English. So we also are practicing with him, and that's are the way that I am trying to do for improve my English.
Okay, that's a great way to practice your English. In this way, well, as you mentioned, you are taking English classes. Also, your okay. Well, as you mentioned, you are taking English classes. Now also your boy is taking English classes, and it also helps you to practice and help others, right? To practice their English. So that's something good. That a great practice. Actually, guys, something that I have learned during my teaching years is that we learn more when we teach. Okay, if you teach someone or if you help someone to understand something, in this case in English or in any other thing, any other topic or any other area, you you work better with that information, or you remember more that information when you help others. So guys, I recommend you, if you have some problems with different topics or with a specific field, for example, in the field you work, if you teach something that maybe it's difficult for you, at the end it will be easier, okay? Or it will become easier for you, okay? Thank you for well, the tips you gave us, Evelyn, to improve our English. Those are really important for us. And now, everybody, maybe Abel can help us with some tips, okay? Abel, hello. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. I think I'm fine.
Okay, that's good. Well, thank you for coming, Abel. I would like to ask you about some tips. How can we improve our English? What do you think?
Okay. In my opinion, I think we can improve reading when we extend our vocabulary about the words and we try to interpret the text and not just translate in Spanish, for example, not literally. So we can interpret the words um, and try to take the more information we can take, no? Um, and it is the same with the listening. Sometimes there are we can sorry we try to translate literally in Spanish, but sometimes it's difficult because we don't know some words, and so we can interpret more than translate, and I think extend our vocabulary so it more is very important, and it can help us for speaking and writing too. That's my opinion.
Okay, that's something important. At the beginning, you mentioned the importance of extending our vocabulary or learning more vocabulary, right? Instead of translating, because, well, at the beginning, when we learn English, we try to translate everything, okay? All words, all phrases, we want to translate all those kind of things. But at the end, everybody remember that when we try to translate, in English, there are some phrases that doesn't make sense when we translate. For example, guys, imagine when we are talking about idioms. Let me ask you guys, do you know what are idioms? Do you know about the idioms? ¿Saben qué son los idioms?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Luis. So in some cases, guys, we have idioms. Well, in English, we have different idioms, but those are expressions that express one idea, but we don't have to understand that idea literally. For example, guys, there is a very easy, let me see. There is one idiom that maybe it's common, and it's a piece of cake. Have you ever heard that? A piece of cake?
Yes, I hear a piece of cake.
Okay, Luis. And what about the others? No idea about a piece of cake?
Let me check my this point, but I don't remember that the meaning that idioms, but it's similar in Spanish.
Okay. How do you say that in Spanish, Luis?
Que como compartir algo, ¿no? Con alguien.
Not really. Well, guys, in Spanish, when we say, well, the idiom in Spanish is pan comido, okay? Something is pan comido, right? In English, we say, this is a piece of cake. What is the meaning of this? Do you know what is the meaning of a piece of cake?
Okay.
Como algo fácil.
That's right, Katia. Okay. When we say a piece of cake, it means that it's something easy. That's an idiom. Okay. We are not talking about cakes. Okay. As you see, guys, the meaning of this idiom is not anything related to cakes. That's why, everybody, I told you, we use these expressions to refer to a different thing, right? To common expressions we use to express another idea, okay? Like this one, a piece of cake. Well, everybody, I recommend you to study idioms because this is something common in native speakers, and it can help you a lot, right? So thank you, guys. We will continue practicing this part in a moment. I would like everybody to remember the purpose of today's class. Remember, guys, yesterday I told you that we already finished with all the grammar topics, okay? So today's practice, everybody, it's about review and practice, or review and evaluation. Guys, let me switch to Spanish, okay? Cambio al español solamente un ratito. Estaba revisando hace unos minutos el porcentaje que llevan de completado de las actividades en la plataforma. Guys, bueno, aquí públicamente me gustaría felicitarlos porque la mayoría, no voy a decir todos porque no es verdad, pero la mayoría de ustedes ya terminó el 100% de las actividades.
¡Mami!
Y eso es bastante bueno. Así que, guys, les felicito porque han completado varias actividades, o mejor dicho, todas las actividades. Hay algunos que todavía no lo han hecho, pero les falta muy poco, ¿ok? Recuerdo, déjenme ver, que tengo dos números. Bueno, hay una persona que tiene 97%, lo que significa que, si no estoy mal, solo le falta el examen final de la unidad 1 a la 5. Bueno, una persona que sí va un poco un poco mal, no sé qué ha pasado, pero le falta el 25% final. Sin embargo, de los demás que he revisado, si hay alguien que me ha faltado, que no ha terminado y me avisan, pero de los demás que he visto, sí lo tienen completo. Así que, guys, congratulations. Sigan así y sigan esforzándose para que podamos continuar en el siguiente nivel. Digo, podamos, por el hecho de que puedan continuar con las clases, ya que no tengo certeza si continúan conmigo o no. ¿Ok? So everybody, in this moment, I just want to show you something. I remember yesterday you asked me about this. Ayer me preguntaron por esto, guys. Por eso, antes de hacer una speaking practice, I would like to show you this part. Remember, guys, in English, there are many modal verbs. And the modal verbs have different moods, or they express different moods. For example, guys, in this part, you can see the most important and more common modals that we have in English. For example, everybody, we have can, be able to, can't, okay, or could, may, might, must, have to, need to, or in negative, needn't, mustn't, don't have to, should or shouldn't, remember, and oughta, okay? Those are the most common modals that we have in English. That's why, everybody, it is important for us to learn about them and also use them correctly. Let me just review a little bit about this, everybody, and I would like to hear what is the use of can. Maybe, Abigail, can you tell me what are the uses of can?
For permission.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you read the uses?
Okay. Can for ability, suggestion, and request.
Very good. Okay, when we talk about suggestion, everybody, when we're talking about request, in some cases, we also refers to permission, right? To permission. For example, look at the example about request. Can you take me to Victoria Station? In this case, it's a request, it's a favor that we can ask to people, right? Then we have the use of be able to. Remember, can, be able to, can't, and could. All of them talk about ability, okay? Abilities we have or we don't have. Now, Damari, what is, let me see. Okay, what is the use of be able to?
Okay, is ability.
Very good. We are talking about ability. When we use be able to, it refers to ability. Remember, be able to, we use it with the verb, of course, we have to use the verb to be, and we are talking about ability. And that's it, everybody. No more uses. Also, we have can't. In this case, guys, maybe it doesn't mention that it's talking about abilities we don't have. For example, I can talk about ability using can in negative, but it refers to something I don't have the ability. For example, guys, I can't swim, okay? I don't have that ability, guys. Also, the second use that it has, everybody, is certainty that something is impossible. For example, that story can't be true, okay? It's talking about when something is unlikely to happen. And also remember that we use can't to talk about prohibitions, okay? Restrictions. Even though we don't have those expressions over there, it's possible to use can't for prohibitions and also for abilities. Now, everybody, let's pay attention to the use of could. Okay, can you help me? Let me see, David, what is the use of could?
Ability, request, suggestion.
Very good. Okay, when we are talking about ability using could, everybody, it means that we talk about abilities in the past because we are using could. Could is the past of can. Okay, so in that way, when we use could, everybody, we are talking about abilities in the past. For example, when I was 3 years old, I could walk alone. Okay, I started walking. Okay, when I was like a baby, I started walking. Then when I was 3 years old, I could walk by myself. Okay, that's an ability in the past. Nowadays, I can walk. Okay, I can still walk, but now it's something common because I'm an adult, right? So that's why. Then when we talk about request and suggestion, it doesn't refer to past. In that case, we can use could to talk about requests and suggestions in present, but in a formal way. Okay, that's maybe one of the things we have to remember when using could, that it refers to something formal. Okay, then everybody, we have may. Okay, Adelina, what are the uses of may?
Possibility, formal request, and permission.
Very good. May, everybody, it's even more formal than could. So when we use may, everybody, we can make formal request, also formal permission. For example, may I go to the bathroom or to the restroom? May I? Okay. If you remember, guys, we can use that question when going to the bathroom. May I go? Okay. Also to talk about possibility. For example, it may be quicker to travel by train. Okay. It's possible that you will move a little bit quicker from one place to another by train than going by car or by bus. Well, going by bus, it's even slower. And then, guys, we have the use of might. As you can see, when we use might, we talk about possibility. Yesterday, I told you that may and might are similar and they have almost the same uses. The difference is, guys, that when we use might, it's not possible to make formal requests or permissions, right? After that, we have the modals for obligation. What are the modals for obligation, everybody? Obligation. What are the modals, everybody?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Must,
hello.
have to, need to.
Okay. Must, have to, and need to. Need to is used for obligations and also for necessities, remember. And then everybody, as you see, also when we use must, we are talking about the certainty that something is true. We could say that must, it's also possible for possibility, right? Possibility. Then have to, need to, we study those models, everybody. We have needed everybody to talk about the lack of obligation or obligations we don't have. Don't have to, it's also to talk about the lack of obligations, so something is not prohibited also. And then mustn't for prohibition, as you remember. The last two models, everybody, are also some models that we study, and they are should and oughta, okay? And they, everybody, they are commonly used for suggestion and advice. And that's it. No more uses, everybody. When we use should and oughta, it refers everybody to opinion, advice, and suggestion, okay? For example, you should drive more carefully, okay? That's an example. Well done. Everybody, do you have any question about modals? No questions about modals? Okay, it was just a review about this, everybody, since I know maybe it has been kind of...
Teacher,
Yes, Katia?
Yes, I had a question about, for example, in the case of obligation, have to and need to, it depends on the frequency of how important it is or is less important. Which one can we use? Or it doesn't matter. I mean, both are like in the same level of
Well,
importance.
that's a great of importance. Okay. Yes. Let me tell you that I could say that need to, in this case, is more related to necessities, right? Something that it's really important that you do. For example, you need to study a lot. What happens if you don't study? If you don't study, you won't pass the exam, or you won't pass the level, or in any other situation, you won't pass to the next grade, right? So that's a necessity, right? When we just need to, instead of making or talking about obligations, we can say that we are talking about necessities, because if you don't do that, there might be a consequence, I could say. For example, you need to drink water every day. What happens if you don't drink water every day? Well, if you don't drink water, you will be thirsty, of course. You will get sick, because water it's important and necessary in your body. So in this case, when we just need to, we are talking about personal obligations, I mean, okay? Personal obligations, or in simple words, necessities, okay? If you don't cover that necessity, or if you don't take care of that necessity, then you will have a consequence. When we just have to, we are talking about rules, we are talking about things we have to do. There is no option, okay? We are talking about mandatory things, right? Mandatory things. In that case, you don't have options, okay? Or you do it, or you do it. But in that case, there is no, like, I consider that there is no consequence, or at least not a personal consequence. Okay, Katia?
Yes, and another question.
Okay.
Between can and could, for like make a question, which is better? Or because I remember that could is like more polite than
That's
can.
right. That's right.
Okay, so if I wanna ask a request for something, it's better for me to use could you? Could you please help me, or could you something like that
That's right.
instead of can?
Yes, that's right. It depends to the person you are talking to. For example, imagine you are talking to, oh, you told me that you are still studying, right?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine you tell your professor at university, or in high school?
Yes.
Oh, at university.
University.
So imagine you say one of your professors at university, can you repeat that, or can you give me a book? So it will sound kind of weird, okay? In that case, it's better that we use could, because as we mentioned, it's more polite. Can is more common that we use it when we feel in confidence with people, okay?
Like with friends or
Like
family.
with friends or family, that's right.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you for your questions, guys. I hope you can continue working on this, on the use of these modals, and we can continue practicing. Since today we have our last practice, everybody, our last class, I would like to practice one of the topics that maybe was not that difficult, but I really like, okay? And it's talking about making wishes. Remember, guys, when we make wishes, we have to use the sentence, a second, what happened? We have to use the sentence, I wish, and then everybody, we express our wish using a sentence in simple past. For example, guys, I wish you could continue with the next intermediate level 3, okay? I wish you could, okay? Could, remember, is the past of can, so we use everybody the past, simple past structure, right? So I wish you could continue with the next intermediate level. I wish you could, oh, I wish you got all your goals. And I wish I had a great weekend this next weekend, okay? So those are my wishes, everybody. Some of my wishes. Why do I, as you see, guys, the activity for today is to explain why you want those situations to be different, or why you want, why do you make those wishes? First of all, guys, I wish you could continue with the next intermediate level, since I know it is important for you to improve your English skills. And well, maybe in the future or in some months, like 3 months or 6 months, you can go and apply for a company in which you can practice your English, okay? It could be a call center, it could be as a translator, it could be as a teacher. I don't know, guys, okay? It depends on the goals you have. Also, guys, I wish you got all your goals, because I know it's also important for you guys to achieve many things that you want for you, for your family, in your personal life, and also in your academic life, in, well, in all areas, right? In all areas in your life. I know you have goals, you have dreams that you want to may come true. So I hope that everybody, you can make them come true. And the last wish, everybody, I wish I had a great weekend this next days, because I think well, I think they will be a little bit busy, but I hope I will take advantage of time to do many activities I want to do, and mostly spend time with my family. I think that will be the most important activity I have to do. Okay, those are my wishes. Now, everybody, you have 2 minutes to think about yours, and I would like to hear some of you practicing this activity. Okay, any question, everybody? No questions. Okay, everybody, you have 2 minutes to practice, then you participate in the class. In case you have any question, I am going to be here. Okay, everybody, time's up. Right now, I would like to hear some of your examples, right? Some of your wishes. Well, let me, give me a second. Let me show you right now the wheel of names. In this opportunity, guys, I want to hear your examples, but we will choose a person randomly, okay? If your name appears on a little box, you have to participate in the class. Right now, everybody, let's spin the wheel. And my first volunteer, everybody, it's going to be David Interiano, okay? Are you ready, David?
Yes, teacher, I guess.
Okay, very good. Tell me, what are some of your wishes?
Okay. Um, I I wish to like to be able to speak English more fluency. I would like to able to travel the United States or England and live there and to learn English language better. And and I kept practice with my family the, and practice the English all my family. This is my best wishes to learn the English and practice more. It's all teacher.
Okay, very good. Those are great wishes, David. To go to a country where you can practice your English and live there. For example, you mentioned England or the United States. Those are great countries. You can spoke more fluent. You wish you could speak more fluent in English. So according to your practice, you will improve. You will see, and then yeah, that your family could also learn English and practice. Okay, that's another important thing that we need to think about. Very good, David. Those were great things you wish. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's go to our second volunteer, our second participant, and it'll be another boy, another man. It is Luis Molina. Let's see. Luis, hello.
Hello, teacher.
What are some of your wishes?
Okay, I wish I learned English 20 years ago. Why? Because do you know nowadays there are different kind of opportunity and and different company, right? With this language, with the English language nowadays is a very important tool, right? It's a tool, and you can earn money, of course, with this language. The most important for me is you can work from house or from my house. It's not necessary to visit a company like you, right?
Yes, like me. Okay, that's something good. Oh, that's it, Luis?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that
okay.
is
I'm
that
sorry.
one.
I thought you had more to say. Well,
No,
well, let
no.
me tell you that you are right. I really like the wish you have to learn English. Well, to improve your English, to polish all those areas, and then having an opportunity to work using your English knowledge, right? This is something, guys, I really expect from you, okay? That you learn English and try to use your English. Why, everybody? Because if you don't use it, you will lose it, okay? Let me tell you guys that this is something true. If you don't use your English, little by little, you will forget most of the things you learn one day, okay? So I recommend you guys practice your English and look for opportunities to practice it. If you don't want to work in a place, for example, speaking English, like for example, a call center, as a translator or as a teacher, If you don't want to work on those areas, continue learning English or continue practicing, guys. Look for conversation clubs or look for any other thing that can help you to practice your English. The most important thing, guys, is that you don't forget what you learn. Okay? Thank you, Luis, for sharing about those important things and the wishes you have to learn English, right? Now let's move our next volunteer. Our next participant is going to be Katia. Okay, she's our volunteer right now. Okay, Katia, tell me, what are your wishes?
Okay, in my case, I wish I could learn like sign languages because I think it's really important, inclusive for people with disabilities. It's okay to say that?
Yes.
Okay. And also, I wish I could have a lot of money to create like a refuge for dogs and cats that are on the street. And that's it.
Okay, also, those are great wishes, okay? To learn sign language, well, that's something necessary nowadays. If we want to be inclusive, well, nowadays people use inclusive for other purposes, but in this case, being inclusive is to take into account that people that in this case doesn't have the same capability that we have. I don't know how to say that, but maybe the same capability or the same opportunities that we have. Okay. And also to build or to have your own refugee for dogs and cats, it's something very kind of you. Okay, so I hope you can make them come true. Okay, Katia, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing some of your wishes. I would like to continue with our next participant. Our next participant in this opportunity, guys, it's going to be Abel. Okay, let me see. It's Abel here? Yes, he is. Okay, Abel, hello. Tell me, what are some of your wishes?
Before beginning, here's raining.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, about languages, I wish I improve my speaking for an advanced conversation that requires more grammar and vocabulary resources to sound more professional. I think I'd be able to do it, but there's a long way. Also, I wish I spoke French because it's another rentable language I consider for laboral opportunity. It may be more difficult than English, but not impossible.
That's it. Okay, thank you, Abel, for sharing about the wishes you have. First of all, to improve your English skills and have a more advanced conversation. Well, that's something really nice that you wish. I hope you can continue practicing and learning more grammar structures. Actually, you already have, well, all of you, I guess, you have most of the grammar structures. Just please, guys, continue practicing them. Okay, if not, maybe some topics will be kind of difficult for you to remember because I've been in that situation, guys, that I didn't remember about some topics, but it was because I didn't practice all of the grammar topics that I learned when I was a student, right? But well, according to the time you practice, you will have more fluency and you will remember more about some grammar topics. And well, I wish you can learn also French. Okay, as you mentioned, it's difficult. It's even more difficult than English. From my own experience, I agree with you. Okay, but as you mentioned, it's not impossible. Just do your best. Thank you, Abel, for sharing about this. Well, I studied English, but I don't speak English. That's the thing, guys. Okay, so good. Let's continue, guys. Our next participant, it's going to be Armando. Well, but Armando is not here. He left. Maybe he's having troubles with the internet. I know, guys, that in some places it's raining, and that's why maybe some of your classmates left. Okay, I guess. So let's continue. Our next volunteer, it's going to be Abigail Fuentes. Excellent. Okay, Abigail, tell me, what are some of your wishes?
I wish got a job. I earned $800 because I want to buy a new car. I wish took a drive or drove classes.
Driving lessons.
Driving lessons. Yes, and I could have I could help my family. That's it.
That's it. Okay, well, you have great wishes. You're thinking about your necessities and also your family necessities. And that's something nice of you, okay? That, well, all of your wishes, guys, always think about others, right? In your wishes, try to think about others, how you can help other people, or in this case, your family that are the closest ones, right? So that's something good, Abigail. I hope though your wishes, you can make your wishes come true, and then okay, so you can take, well, first of all, take your driving lessons. Well, first of all, get a job, a job in which you earn around 800, and then you can take the driving lessons, and after that you can have your car, and you can well, you can travel by car. Guys, I would like to continue hearing all of you, but it's almost time to go, so I'm really sorry with the ones that didn't participate in this opportunity. I hope we can continue working with these guys, or working together in the next level. As you know, everybody, and as I told you yesterday and one more time today, this is our last class in this level, in Intermediate 2. I would like to share this with you, everybody. Okay, congratulations. You have successfully completed Intermediate 2. Keep doing your best and continue on the next level. Guys, I switched to Spanish. De mi parte, agradecerles por los que estuvieron clase a clase acá, porque, bueno, al inicio habían creo que más personas, pero poco a poco algunos se conectaban, otros no. Entonces, agradezco a los que se conectaron siempre, más que ser algo para mí. Recuerden que es algo que les ayuda a ustedes principalmente, algo que también es parte de su futuro, porque sé que el aprender inglés no es solamente por un hobby, right? Aunque podría ser, pero sé que en este caso no lo estamos haciendo solamente como un hobby, sino que lo estamos haciendo porque lo necesitamos. Así que espero puedan continuar en el siguiente nivel y espero que también puedan seguirse esforzando como lo han hecho en este nivel. Nuevamente les felicito porque la mayoría de ustedes ya terminó con el nivel, bueno, con la plataforma, con las actividades de la plataforma, que son el 100%. Así que felicitarlos por eso y animarlos a que sigan así en el próximo nivel. Si están conmigo, espero verlos. Y si no, guys, sigan haciendo un gran esfuerzo como lo han hecho en este. ¿Ok? Have a good night. Nice to meet you, everybody, and take care.
Thank you, Christian.
Gracias por todo,
You're
teacher.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, teacher. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.